Minister, I have to say I'm very disappointed that the debate is so short, and I'll try to raise as many issues as I can in a very short time. The first thing we need to do is really progress the offshore. And to do that, there's three elements. Administrative, we need fast, efficient, transparent administrative systems. We need to change the legal system so that decisions are given in good time. And the third thing is we need to ensure community buy-in. And I'm concerned that the community funds do not specify geographic area where the money should be spent. And there is major concern in my constituency that the money will be spent far away from the most effective communities. The second issue I'd just like to touch on is the importance of creating storage of electricity, and hydrogen is a very obvious one. And again, I think we need to expedite that. The third one, I noticed in the notes we were given that you're giving us 3 buses a day into the nearest town. But the reality is, if you live where I live, the vast majority of the people don't want to go to the nearest town, they want to go to Galway. Because there's a university there, there's 2 universities there, and there's a hospital there, and there's major employment there. And what do we find? Yes, they're using the buses, but they find 2 main problems. One is the buses are full halfway to Galway, on all the major arterial routes, Headford, Clonbridge, Spiddal, Oaktrard and so on. And the second thing is, it is hard to believe that in this day and age, no bus leaves Galway for Clifton later than 6:10 in the evening. It's absolutely incredible. The next thing I'd have to say is I'm very concerned about corporatisation of the ownership of land in relation to forestry. We could get the same amount of planting done by farmers if the incentives were there. We spent long enough trying to get our own land back, not to give it away willy-nilly. I can't understand why we can't work with the farmers and farmer cooperatives to ensure the necessary planting. The next point I'd like to raise, Minister, because I'm sure I've used all my time, is the issue that the feed-in tariffs, there are hundreds of people in my constituency, particularly in the rural areas, who are mad to sell solar into the grid. But they keep getting the push-off from the companies who have promised to give them a feed-in tariff. And then we talk about trying to persuade people to go green. And the final point I'd like to make is, I understand they're going to put in, but always watch the small print, charging systems on the motorways. It said on the news this morning main routes, but it's motorways. Now the reality is that that means that the counties of Sligo, Mayo, Roscommon, Leitrim, Donegal and Cavan are once again excluded. Thank you.